thing in his corner yesterday. He was playing against someone who didn't like slow players, didn't like quiet atmospheres, and Mickey loves that kind of game. And Darren Webster's going to love that 180.
Yeah, just a little bit of extra pressure on Mickey Mansell here with this Shanghai on 20s. Darren Webster waiting to pounce on tops. He's done the easy bit, and he can't quite do the harder bit.
60.
Darren Webster has been touted as a dark horse for this tournament by Dan Dawson.
Yeah, he's not the only one, Dan. Actually, I too have made a case for Darren Webster. I've not been so vociferous in my belief, but certainly when you look at what happened last weekend with Ian White becoming the latest first-time winner on the European Tour, and we've said it time and time again about others like Joe Cullen and Daryl Gurney, but I think you can definitely bracket Darren Webster in that category as well. He's just had this awful run, hasn't he, in the European Tour this season, where he's obviously had no problem getting here. He's been seeded for the last few of these as well. Wasn't seeded at the start of the campaign, but he just has this inability to get beyond the last 16. Third round defeat in the German Darts Grand Prix, third round defeat in the German Open, third round defeat in Austria, third round defeat in Sindelfingen, third round defeat in the Dutch Masters, third round defeat in Copenhagen. On it goes. Hamburg as well. He's never quite been able to take that step. I think he's certainly got the game to go farther than that. I mean, it's astonishing, I think, that he's not made a quarter-final on the Euro Tour this year.
Yeah, I remember the game he had with Van Gerwen in Sindelfingen. It was a scintillating encounter. I was practicing backstage, getting ready to play Jamie Lewis, and I'd one eye on the game with him and Van Gerwen, and he was living with MVG. He was the one who got closest to him that weekend. But last week when he played in Maastricht, he told me the next morning after being beaten by Josh Payne that he was just a bit flat. He needed a day off or two.
60.
So what did he do when he got home and he had a very rare day off? He ripped his bathroom out. Didn't even tell the wife. She knows about it now.
Yeah, she does. Just set to work straight away. That sort of spontaneous character. I mean, any man with the nickname Demolition Man is not going to hang around and think about things. You're just going to get out there and smash it up.
He's doing that so far. He's doing a very, very good job. And Darren Webster is the epitome of the gritty player, but he doesn't care about pace. He just cares about hitting doubles, and it's tops now. It's a good guy for Darren. Just a little bit shy.
160.
Well, Mickey Mansell, like I say, a big finish yesterday. Not quite in this ballpark, but he's not going to take out the 160 with a first dart like that.
That's where he wanted the first dart.
120.
That's the irony not lost on Mickey Mansell there. So double 10 for Webster, and Webster doubles his lead. I shared a flight home with Darren Webster after I was commentating on the German Championship, the German Darts Championship in Hildesheim, and he was reflecting on that defeat by Mansell Suljovic, and he still wasn't really totally happy with the conditions that day. He said his flights and his darts were moving all over the place. That he felt there was a draft from the back of the arena.
45.
Now, people will say, well, it was okay for Mansell. He had no problems dealing with that. They did open an exit gate at the back of the arena because it was very warm, and people were coming in and out, and it was very busy.
45.
And, you know, if Darren thinks that was the case, then who are we to argue? But
he does throw a very light dart, Rob,
yeah,
and that does affect lighter darts more than someone like Mansell, who throws a lot heavier stuff, and that's heavy stuff from Mickey. Well, there's a look about Darren Webster today, as if to say, this is the opportunity I've been waiting for. There's been a few of those from Mickey in this game, though. A few wides. We weren't seeing that yesterday. There's a lot of great pundits and great players have said in the past that darts is on the day. The amount of times that players have had a real day out on the Friday and then on the Saturday,
140.
it's totally different.
yeah.
You never know what you're going to feel like when you wake up in the morning. And the best way to condition yourself, there's another treble one.
First one there.
And a great adjustment yet again. The best way to condition yourself
78.
is to do exactly the same as you did the day before. Have the same breakfast, prepare with the same practice games, do everything the same. Turn yourself into a machine.
100.
That's what I say to people who ask me how to condition for tournaments.
Well, Mickey Mansell could still dig this one out, but once again the first dart strays into the single one, and he stayed there as well. And Webster might be thinking about a chance to break again here for a 3-0 lead. I was just looking at the first dart average for Mickey Mansell. No surprise, it's way down on the second and third dart averages. It's clearly something he's got to address, and he's got
36.
Well, he's running out of time to do that, shall we say.
92.
I was going to say Darren Webster can't finish 76 on double 10 because he's won the first two on double 10.
Yeah, Webster's just given Mickey Mansell a helping hand here. Now,
that's a 7,
that's
he's
a
85.
7, yeah, so maybe looking at treble 15 here for tops.
Yeah, it will be treble 15. Look at his eyes.
But he's missed it anyway.
He's going to be livid with the way he's played so far. It could be double 10 again for Darren Webster if he splits tops. Double 10. The last two were purposeful. He's missed it.
Mickey requires 60.
Well, well, well. I did not expect that. Mickey Mansell will not say no to a present.
No, he does not. Yeah, Webster on double 10. Normally, not quite a mortgage job, but certainly you'd give it consideration.
57.
Darren Webster, of course, several highs for him this year. He recently contested his second Pro Tour final of the year. That was at the 16th Players' Championship event. He beat Tony Newell, Gary Eastwood, Richie Burnett, Michael Barnard, Danny Noppert and Adrian Lewis. And it was Lewis who was the victim of Mansell in his Pro Tour win earlier this year as well. But Webster falling short of a second Pro Tour title of his career, losing to Ian White in that final at Players' Championship 16.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Adrian Lewis over the next couple of months because I think there's something brewing with him.
Yeah, well, he's moved. I mean, the fact he's now seeded for these European Tour events, he's been playing ever so well in Europe, even when he was having to come through qualifying.
He didn't actually play that great last week, and he fell a bit flat, really, in the quarterfinals. But against Josh Payne in the final leg, he did something remarkable. He was up against it. Josh had him on toast. Josh only missed one match dart, and it was so close. But Adrian hit a huge score, then a big setup, and hit the double right off the bat. It was a fabulous finish, and it just goes to show that he's still got those world champion qualities swimming through his veins. I think Adrian Lewis is definitely coming good.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it this weekend quite a bit about the shake-up for the European Championship. I don't think this is a match that will have too much bearing. Webster's already pretty much assured of his place, and Mickey Mansell is a man who is out of the equation, given the fact he's only played in one Euro Tour event prior to this one. Unless, of course, he goes on and wins it, which, you know, could happen.
You never know. You never know. Some of the winners we've seen this year and the finalists were unexpected. Well, due respect to those finalists and winners, but that's why we love darts. It's glorifyingly unpredictable.
60.
It is unpredictable that Mickey's not playing as well today. But it's 81 each. Darren's got the first shot at it. Double 12, 2 for it. Just off the bottom of that one. And he went over the top. Frustrating stuff. And Mansell, even though he's probably played at about 50% capacity today, he's got 81 points separating him from a level game.
So 50 away. Well, you can see that one drift like the first darts intro coming back to haunt him there with his final dart on this occasion. Darren Webster cannot afford to mess around too much longer on this. He's now having to move all the way over to double 6. And this is becoming a bit of a problem for Darren Webster.
Not bad darts, they're just not in. They're really close. Like some of the shots with Martin Schindler in the first game, like the first shot he had a double, it was one to forget. But these are on the wire from Darren Webster, but that one is right in the middle of the soup. It's 2-2, unbelievably.
Yeah, one hold apiece, one break apiece, and on we go. Yeah, Darren Webster, with this habit of his of making it to the third round but not beyond, I mean, that's enough to get him the ranking money. So £24,000 on the European Order of Merit. He's sitting very pretty indeed, just outside or just inside the top 16 in the European standing. So he will be involved in the European Championship in Dortmund in October. A man who of course, beat Rob Cross en route to the last 8 in Blackpool this summer as well at the World Match Play. Another significant, a very notable achievement for Darren Webster. Now in his 50s, of course.
He's really good to watch when he gets very animated. That game at Blackpool in the last 16 was brilliant. And Darren Webster was up for that. And he gets a nice bustly crowd and a bit of grip between his teeth. I tell you what, he's not bad to watch. That's one of the reasons why I'm tipping him to be in the Premier League next year.
Yeah, I really enjoyed his company actually when we were travelling home. It was a good chat and just telling me a few things about his life and his day-to-day stuff, and yeah, just a little insight, which is
plenty to tell.
It's always welcome to hear. You know, it's interesting, and you know, it's one of the privileges of the job, meeting players and talking about the day-to-day stuff away from darts, what makes them tick, what makes them happy, what annoys them.
I think with Darren, he just likes to be busy. Doesn't like to sit still. It's like a hamster in a wheel. Doesn't stop.
100.
Perpetual. That's why I ripped his bathroom out when he was bored. By the way, Darren, I'm still waiting for my quote on my driveway.
Here we go on 120.
Thought I'd leave you alone. You've got darts to play.
Yeah, don't bother him now.
120 for Mansell. He'll be in front. Can't believe what I'm watching.
I know. Tops for Mickey.
100.
Well, Darren Webster looks puzzled. But his trebles are deserting him, like his doubles are the last couple of legs.
78.
And Mansell,
It's
it's not the last time you'll ever hear this, Mansell's in the driving seat.
I'll forgive you on this occasion, Paul. Double 5 for Mickey Mansell, for the man from County Tyrone to steal a march and turn a 2-0 deficit into a 3-2 lead, and that's exactly what he's done. Mickey Mansell's only previous visit to this tournament was 3 years ago. Like I said, a 6-4 defeat by Ian White. Webster himself has never gone beyond the second round of this tournament, the International Darts Open. But Mickey Mansell has a little bit of European pedigree. He did make the quarter-finals of one of these Euro Tour events, although it was 4 years ago. He actually lost that quarter-final against Brendan Dolan, his fellow Ulsterman.
There's not many dart players who've got their own emoji as well. Every time Mickey Mansell tweets, he puts a little cyclone next to them, so you can see from the back of his shirt.
Yeah, he sort of nicked that off Barry McGuigan, didn't he? Because he was known as the Clonez Cyclone.
Ah,
but Mickey Mansell is from Tyrone. It doesn't work as well as Clonez Cyclone. For me, just my opinion. Mickey will obviously beg to differ, and he's entitled to do that. Darren Webster is looking to get himself back on track in this one.
He slowed his action down a bit, and Darren does that mid-game. He either speeds up or slows down, depending on what he needs to do. If he's in the groove, he just lets them fly. So obviously he's lost the last 3 legs, Darren Webster. He just needs to reapply himself, so he's a little bit more methodical. Treble 19 now.
43.
Got to say that was a rushed one, and he's way ahead, of course. But if Mansell to 180 here, he's in trouble.
Yeah, and given the way he's finishing of late as well certainly given the way he finished in the previous leg, then he could well be in a spot of bother if Mansell can apply something here, but he can't. Just 22 scored, once again straying into the one bed. 60 away for Webster, another crack at tops. Maybe he'll have to go to 10s again, or maybe he'll have another crack at 20s in a moment.
Yeah, the radar's definitely off on the doubles. That one wasn't close. You can just look at him at the back of the stage. He's puzzled. Doesn't really know what's going on.
That's 2 from 15 now for Darren Webster.
57. Now you require 40.
And this is for hold to throw.
2 from 16. 2 from 17.
20.
You do the math.
You require 100.
Well, if Mansell hits this, you're going to see the biggest shake of a dart player's head, maybe in history. This would hurt. And that is a perfect first dart. Not enough juice behind that one. He's run out of petrol. So it's double 10, hopefully, to the rescue of Darren Webster. And it's back. He's found it.
Yeah, my word, little wonder he's offering up a prayer of thanks there. He was 2 from 18. Yet somehow he's back on terms at 3 apiece. There we see now, 3 from 19. Mansell a much more respectable 3 from 6.
He won't care, Darren, as long as he gets the 6 in the left column.
I thought it was 3 from 7 actually, but there you go on my little monitor here. But it's a much healthier percentage anyway. Mickey Mansell has been far more efficient on his checkouts, but it is 3 apiece. It doesn't count for too much.
Well, neither guy's going to be pleased with their performance so far.
No, fairly safe to say that neither has brought their A game to the party today. Unlike Martin Schindler, who was very close to his A game, I think, if not at it.
Just goes to show, Rob, that when you get a bit of extra adrenaline through your veins, you can do remarkable things on a dartboard. And Martin Schindler showed that. He wasn't frightened of playing in front of this massive crowd in Riesa. It's a lot more subdued now, so there's going to be less adrenaline pumping through the veins of Darren Webster and Mickey Mansell. Martin Schindler is a proper dart player now. Hard to believe that as little as 2 years ago, almost to the week, we were looking at him as a bit of a chicken feed when it comes to the seeds. If you got Martin Schindler, it was, oh, well, that's a win then.
Yeah, host nation qualifier banker, yeah, but
60.
Those days are long gone. And
Absolutely.
he's not the only host nation qualifier still involved. Robert Marjanovic involved in the last match of the night against Darryl Gurney at the end of the evening session. Gurney seeded 8 here this weekend. And of course we have Max Hopp, the seeded Max Hopp, representing Germany as well. He too is on the evening card against Steve Beaton. That should be one heck of an encounter and one heck of an occasion as well.
Yeah, if you're Darryl Gurney, take notice. Marjanovic is after you. You beat him earlier this year, and Marjanovic should have beat you, Darryl. He's going to be up for it tonight, and he's going to have all of the crowd on his side, especially if he plays David Hasselhoff again. Marjanovic had a lot of media attention backstage last night as well. I get the feeling he's going to have a big following, but that's later.
Yeah, just if you need clarification, he won't be playing David Hasselhoff at darts. He'll be playing the music of David Hasselhoff.
Tops for 105. I'm amazed he went that route. If he'd hit the bull, he might have gone 5 bull. But he's on double 10 again.
Now, will you look at 19s first of all? Some players do, but Mickey's gone for the 20s.
What are the odds that Darren Webster will win this match and every single leg will be won on double 10?
97.
Could happen.
Darren, you require 20.
It's still possible. 4 legs to Darren Webster, a vital break, and that's his 4th double 10.
Game on.
Strange game so far. First 2 legs to Darren, then 3 legs to Mickey,
100.
and then 2 legs to Darren. So, by virtue, Mickey's going to win 6-4 because he'll get the next 3.
Yeah. Just going back to the 1-4-3, we had a similar debate yesterday. I suggested treble 19. It's a lot of movement, treble 19, treble 18, back downstairs. But when you've got the first dart in the treble 19, you've got a little bit to work with. There's a lot of, like I say, you're moving around the board a lot. What would your modus operandi be for?
With 1-4-3, it's really difficult to find something where
83.
all the darts are concentrated. I think it's one of the hardest shots in darts because you're so spread across the board. If you hit a treble 19, you leave yourself 86. So you've got to go up to treble 18 for double 16. But if you get the 60 and leave 83, you've still got to go down for treble 17, then across for double 16. It's one of the most complex shots out there.
Which is why I asked. I thought I'll ask a pro, as I've got one at my disposal right next to me.
34.
Always good to hear these little snippets of advice and information if you're listening and if you play the game yourself.
It'd be a beautiful thing to get yourself in your practice room and watch the darts at the same time this afternoon. If you are doing that,
try it out.
Stick at it.
Imagine you're on 1-4-3 for the leg. Where would you go? Move it all over the board?
You're not allowed to leave the dartboard or the practice board until you've hit a 1-4-3.
34.
That's what I'd be doing.
21.
I think he's on 1-2-1. If he doesn't hit this, Webster could hit 10, 20 and double 10, but it's bullseye for Mansell.
96.
And he shaved the wire of that bullseye as well, but it's found the green stuff. And Webster himself is now looking at tops. And he finds it. He's suddenly got his shooting boots on here, Darren Webster. They all deserted him for 2 or 3 legs, but now he's back in the groove. And well, back in the frame here. 5-3 he leads, he's 1 away.
He's just had a word with Tops, and he was looking up at it.
140.
Winner of this to face either Joe Cullen or Ross Smith, who also meet in the evening session. Ross Smith, by the way, is spending the afternoon in Dresden with James Wilson. They've gone to do some sightseeing, obviously taking a leaf out of my book as well. They were asking advice about the trains and stuff. I told them where to go. No, I didn't mean
Lethal Biscuit Tours.
I did tell them where to go rudely. I gave them directions, shall we say. It was good to see players getting a bit of fresh air, you know, taking a bit of time out, bit of culture, return to the practice board later.
Well,
James
when
Wilson on stage tonight as well.
Maybe when they return to Riesa, they might go to the Noodle Museum. There's a place in Riesa where they make their own pasta and noodles.
This is true.
And they show you how to do it.
I think they also make matchsticks here as well. Riesa has a big matchstick. I mean, there's loads of industry around here, but matchsticks is one of the
100.
unusual ones. Anyway, back to the here and now, because Darren Webster is potentially on the brink of wrapping up this second round match and securing a place in the final day of competition, once again on the European Tour. And that's a lovely piece of approach play. He's just chipped it from about 170 yards onto the edge of the green. And Mickey Mansell needs to find maybe a birdie or an eagle here. And he may well do. Double 10.
130.
That could be curtains.
You require 84.
What's the target going to be? It's going to be 14 for Bull. Bullseye for it. Oh, just over the bar.
First lits from Darren Webster. He's got a little bit in hand. This is for a 5-4 scoreline. And it is 5-4. But Webster has the security blanket, if you like, of throwing first in this 10th leg, but he needs to make it pay, and he'd love another one of those.
Double 5 has been the Mickey Mansell double the last couple of days. He's hit it twice in this match. Yesterday he had 19 after splitting double 19, and he went 9 double 5.
Yeah.
I have never seen anybody do that. He spoke to Dan Dawson this morning, and apparently he had a bit of a brain freeze.
60.
He didn't mean to go for double 5. He just went for the 9 because he thought he was on something else. That happens when you're focused. You do lose your train of thought sometimes. But we've seen crazy things the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Jeffrey de Graaf last week, 78, going treble 20, double 9, which is only the second time I've ever seen that. Simon Whitlock did it the first time in the Premier League. A couple of weeks ago, I saw Steve Lennon on 104, and we will see Steve Lennon this afternoon. He had 104 left, and he went treble 20, 18, double 13. And he wasn't going for the 4, he was going for the 18.
43.
There's a whole host of crazy things going on with finishing right now, and I, for one, cannot figure out some of them.
Yeah, there's no bonus points on offer.
No style points for the dismount.
No. Artistic impression.
Well, if it's artistic impression, I think Sulevic should be a 6. It's like a ballet dancer on the hockey, and we will see him later on tonight playing against Ryan Joyce. That'll be a good game.
Yeah, Joyce was, well, he had to come through a real battle with Gabriel Clemens yesterday. It went all the way to the decider, every leg on throw. But he just found, well, basically he perhaps won it in the room upstairs where they do the bull-off.
Yeah, Gabriel Clemens, the man with the longest dart shirt in darts. But Darren Webster, arguably the smallest man in darts, could take care of this now. 45, it's tops. And that is only just over the top. But he will be back.
He will be back because Mickey Mansell is on 2-1-7. Mansell will be just wishing that Darren Webster's problems on doubles come back to haunt him. He's now 5 from 23. He was 2 from 18 at one stage, so he's recovered. But Mansell now hoping for another slip by Webster. He's on double 10, and he's not there yet, and he's still not there.
30.
Now then.
Surely this isn't going 5-5. With Darren on tops and Mickey way over 200. He's going to get another shot. Well, he's going to get a shot on the Mickey Mansell double. What he can't afford to do,
58.
Darren Webster, is put the first dart short.
That was closer to the 20s. That one's further away. And that one will do very nicely indeed for Darren Webster. He knows that he was really extended there, and he'll know as well that he'll have to sharpen up on his finishing when he